Okay. So what I was saying is the stress of trying to make things work was an everyday situation. Every day I was thinking about how am I gonna make things work financially? How am I gonna make things work as far as my time, my energy, my mental capacity? Because splitting households, then I gotta figure everything out on my own. I really don't have anybody that I can call on. Maybe a few people here and there, but I can't call on somebody every day. I don't have anybody physically living in my home that I can rely on, if I'm coming up short in any of those areas. Like I said, money, time, energy, mental capacity. So I started, even though I was happy and I was at so much, I was I was so content with my decision to leave my marriage. That, to me, I've never regretted it. But I did regret single motherhood. I did regret the fact that now I've taken on this huge responsibility on my shoulders. On a day to day basis, I would be, and when I say I would, really I mean I am, because I'm still dealing with it. But I would just have so much anxiety that I would wake up in like a panic attack with, like, what am I forgetting? What needs to be done? What's gonna fall through? What if I don't make this happen? What's not gonna, what's gonna go up in smoke? Like, just that constant feeling of carrying a load and making sure everything. This is the best analogy I probably can give. It's like you got a tiger or lion, let's say a lion. You got a lion running after you. For whatever reason, God is giving you the strength and the energy to outrun that lion. But if you slow down or if you trip, you're finished. That's the way it felt every day. Like I could do it, but how long could I maintain that speed where I'm going to continue to outrun that lion? And that lion was bills and responsibilities and everything that everyone needed from me. And so I would carry around this anxiety, and I'm carrying it around to this day. But when I was splitting the households and looking at the finances, I knew that I had to pick up a second job that I could work, that was flexible, where I didn't have to go physically be in somebody's job to make ends meet, because I had kids who needed to be picked up and dropped off and needed me to help them with homework, needed me to cook dinner, needed me to be there. So I'm a writer. And so I picked up freelance writing jobs that I could do at night while my kids are sleeping. And I was working a lot. Sometimes, when I first moved out, sometimes I would work all night and not sleep. And I know that's not healthy. I know that was taking years off my life, but I didn't have a choice, because I needed to pad my income to be able to make sure everyone had what they needed. So I was picking up so many gigs that sometimes I would just write all night. The next day I would wake up, start my day all over again. I was so tired. I have a video where I was talking to my daughter and my voice is gone. And I didn't realize it at the time, but my voice was gone because I wasn't sleeping and I wasn't taking care of myself. And I'm still working two jobs. I'm just not picking up as much. I'm not picking up as much work with the freelance job as I could, but my income is suffering for it. Like, it is. It really is. So anyway, I say all that to say that now, on a day-to-day basis, some days are great. Some days are not great. Some days I feel like I can do anything. Like I'm just capable of making anything work. Like people will look at me with my children, 5 kids and everything I have going on, and they're like, "How do you do it?" And the truth is, some days I do it, some days I don't. Some days I can manage everything. Some days I'm crumpling. But that's what I want to share on this Diary of a Single Mom series that I'm going to do on my channel. I'm going to share like how I'm making things work and what that looks like for me, and what that can possibly look like for someone else who thinks it's hard, that it's going to be too hard. It is hard, but you'll figure out a way. Like, women are very resilient in that aspect, that we figure out a way to make things work. It's not ideal for us, because as women and as feminine creatures, we operate better if we're not saddled with the weight of responsibility responsibility like that. And we really shouldn't be. We should have husbands to take on some of the responsibility, especially the some of those financial responsibilities and the decision making. We operate better when we're able to rest in our feminine and be nurturing and loving and supportive and caring and healing and all of these things. But when we have to step into that masculine role and figure out how we're going to make stuff happen, it becomes a lot for us. But we have to do it. We don't have any choice. And so, yeah. And so, what else do I want to share before I end this video? When I look back at my marriage, the only thing I regret is the time that I spent in it when I knew that it wasn't going to work early on. I knew within the first 5 years that it wasn't going to work, but I tried to keep it together. The only thing I regret is spending a lot of my youth in a marriage that I knew early on wasn't going to work. I don't regret my children. I have really, really amazing children. I always say that, but I really do. I have some really, really smart, funny, talented, athletic, just amazing kids all the way around. I don't believe as a mother of 5 kids that I have enough within me to give them each what they need. Some days they don't get what they need from me as far as emotional support, love, one-on-one attention. Sometimes they don't get that because I just don't have enough to go around and give everyone, but I do my best. And I do think that I'm a good mom. I do think that my kids, I think my kids are getting a lot. I just think that as one woman, especially when you're operating as the breadwinner, as the person who's taking care of so much, that you just don't have enough to give everything that a child may need. And with that being said, we hope that our marriages work out. We hope that there will be 2 parents who are able to pour into the kids. But if there isn't, we have to realize that in order for you to take care of yourself and maintain like your sanity, you may not be able to show up for your kids the way you would like to at all times. And that's something I'm struggling with. That's something that gives me mom guilt a lot. For example, some days I'm just dead tired. I had a long week. There was a lot on my plate. I'm just dead tired. And then maybe my son, he'll have a basketball tournament on Sunday. He's 15. So, I may have to drop him off and come back and pick him up. I may not be able to sit through 3 games because I'm just tired and I need to sleep, or I got laundry piling up, or I haven't cooked dinner and my kids have been eating, whatever they can figure out to eat, whatever we can put together quickly, for the last couple of days. Just stuff like that. Like, I would like to be there all the time, right on the sidelines, but sometimes I don't have it to give. So anyway, that's some of the mom guilt that I'm dealing with. And I do deal with mom guilt about them not having both parents in the same household. I know my younger 3 kids, they really benefited from that. I just saw it. They really did. And the transition was difficult for them. It wasn't as difficult as I thought it was going to be, but it was kind of difficult. It was kind of difficult. I'll talk about that, in other videos. It's kind of difficult for them, because that's all they had known. My oldest is 12, and then my oldest of the 3 younger kids is 12, and then there's a 6-year-old and there's a 2-year-old. But my kids span in age from 2 to 21. 2 adults, a 21-year-old and an 18-year-old. Anyway, I'm going to end this video, but I'm going to be posting shorts, and I'm going to be letting you guys know what this stuff looks like as far as the single motherhood life. I'm happy that I'm able to say it now, because before I wasn't even able to say it. For months, I wasn't even able to say I'm going through a divorce, or I wasn't able to say I'm a single mother. Like, I couldn't even get the words to come out, because I think society right now, there's a lot of shame and embarrassment attached to being a single mother when there shouldn't be. Sometimes things just don't work out. But, if you are on social media for any amount of time, you'll see that single mothers get a bad rap. They really do. and we try so hard.